The 2014-15 season officially came to a close last Friday night as the Northeast Conference held its annual end-of-the-year spring meetings at the Molly Pitcher Inn in Red Bank, New Jersey. Here's what NEC Commissioner Noreen Morris had to say about the importance of bringing everyone together.
There is something about bringing people together face to face that makes our jobs much easier throughout the year. So when we come together, the dialogue is more effective because you can see people face to face, but it's more the relationship building in the room and outside of the room. We build in some social time so that folks can get to know each other as people, and I think that allows you to have a better conversation in the meeting rooms because you understand people's personalities and you understand their backgrounds and what they bring to the table. So the in-person is crucial to creating that relationship that allows you to do good work throughout the year, whether it's in-person conference calls or even just dealing with each other at championships when issues arise. I think we are better for it to be able to come together once a year and spend quality time together.
We also caught up with some of the senior women administrators, athletic directors, and presidents of each respective university to get their thoughts on the meetings.
Some of the highlights are the same highlights that we have every year from the SWA meetings. We have a great group of amazing women with a lot of different experiences. So we all grow as professionals, just meeting with each other and talking about what do you do on your campus, what works, what are some things that occurred in the past year that we all can learn from. We also talk about the structure of the Northeast Conference, different committees we have, different initiatives and goals, and talk about do we think those are equitable amongst all the sports, all the women and men's sports.
It's a very close group. We've worked well together for a number of years. There's a few new ones, but we really work through a lot of issues, and we come together on most of the issues relatively quickly. And that's what I think made the NEC very strong as a conference. And we're trying to constantly progress it and making good decisions, whether it be financial, how we focus on the marketing, the emphasis on certain sports, and how we can really elevate the level of play and the level of fan excitement and appreciation for the product, but most of all, making sure that student athletes have a great experience, and that seems to be working very, very well.
While there was certainly nothing controversial at the meeting, at the end of the day, I feel like, in our discussions, whether it ranged from NCAA governance issues to concussion management, to academic issues, APR, it was all for the benefit of the students. A particularly poignant moment for me wasn't necessarily at today's meeting, but rather last night when the entire group gathered, the presidents, the ADs, and at the awards presentation. It was great to see 3 student athletes highlighted and honored for their accomplishments, both in terms of athletics as well as academics. And that really put into focus for me, as well as I'm sure as other attendees, that what we do for the good of our students. So that's something that's a memory that I'll certainly take from here, and was again a very, very positive moment throughout the last couple of days here.
And let's not forget about the end of the year awards that were handed out on Thursday night, starting with a thank you to Robert Morris president Greg DeLomo, who will be stepping down to take over as president of Rider University. Next up, the Sportsmanship Awards were handed out, followed by the Money Awards Trophy won by Mount St. Mary's University and the Building Communities Award, which saw a new winner this year as St. Francis Brooklyn ended Sacred Heart University's 4-year run as the BCA champion. What is more impressive, though, is that NEC student athletes as a whole accounted for a grand total of 24,922 hours of community service. Then it was Sacred Heart who won its league-leading 8th Joan Martin Women's Commissioner's Cup. The NEC's Ralph Ventry spoke to Sacred Heart's Executive Director of Athletics, Bobby Valentine.
So you're walking home with some hardware, or driving home with some hardware. What can you say about the women's student athletes at Sacred Heart University and the accomplishments of the past academic year?
Well, they did win the cup, but, we had 17 teams, and they were all champions. Each individual, when they either were practicing, when I saw them in study hall, when they walked through the campus, or when I saw them compete, held themselves in such a way that made me proud, because they know they're doing something special. They know being a Division I athlete at this level takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of ability, and when they put all those things together, they not only get these trophies, but they get things they could take with them all their life.
Bryant University secured both the NEC Men's Commissioner's Cup and the Brenda Ware Commissioner's Cup as they finished #1 in the overall standings for the second consecutive year. The NEC's Ralph Ventry caught up with Bryant President Ronald Makeley and Athletic Director Bill Smith.
Well, I couldn't be any more proud than I am tonight. It's really a great accomplishment for Bill Smith, our athletic director, our coaches, and every one of our Bulldogs who every day get up and try and excel in their sports. And to come into this league as a new Division I program and to win this cup 2 years in a row really speaks volumes of the dedication, the focus, and the hard work of Bill and the whole staff and our athletes. So this big dog is very happy and very proud.
The coaches and the student athletes get all the credit, but as Ron mentioned earlier, it was just 7 short years ago that we came to New Jersey to visit with Brenda Ware and to pursue membership in the NEC. So this means so much to us to win this trophy that's named after Brenda, because she was so good to us and was such a strong advocate to get Bryant into the NEC, and we're forever grateful.
I see our conference as a model for the country. We're graduating our student athletes. Our student athletes are spending over 25,000 hours a year in community service. They're doing what is intended for university college athletics, playing hard, winning, but doing well in the classroom. And so I think it's a model for other big conferences to look at. You don't have to just one and done. You can stay in college for 4 years, and that's what our NEC is all about.
Next, it was on to the Student Athlete of the Year awards. On the men's side, Wagner's Phil Facone was named the 2014-15 NEC Male Student Athlete of the Year. The two-time Sports Network All-American and Wagner SAC president spoke about his involvement in the community and what winning the award means to him.
Extremely honored. You know, there's a lot of guys in this conference that do a lot of good work, just like Connor Candido over at Sacred Heart. You know, I've been in touch with him about community work, and there are so many great athletes, and I'm surprised that all of them I was picked, but I am very honored.
Now, I know that you love football. Obviously, you had the fortune of winning 2 conference titles during your time at Wagner, but I know you also like helping people, working in the community. What is some of the most rewarding work that you did? Was it the time around Superstorm Sandy when you and your teammates helped out local community members? Is there something down here by your hometown at the Jersey Shore? What is the most rewarding work for you?
Probably the most rewarding one was Operation Christmas Child. Every year with FCA, Fellowship for Christian Athletes, we packed up shoe boxes full of presents for kids every year, kids who never had a Christmas before, kids who really don't know about what it is to receive a gift. So we packed up toothbrushes, toothpaste, crayons, small gifts such as that, and sent them all across the world. And those kids for the first time had a Christmas. And that was probably the most rewarding one for me.
Moving over to the women's side, Robert Morris's Nicole Sleeth was named the 2014-15 NEC Female Student Athlete of the Year. A biomedical engineering major, Sleeth is also a 3-time NEC Pitcher of the Year and 3-time NFCA All-America Scholar Athlete. She had this to say about winning the award.
All of it. I mean, any time I give back to the community, give back to the people who've helped me all my life, I mean, it's rewarding. Every aspect of it, whether it's giving back to the homeless or young kids or charities, cancer charities, it's all rewarding in every aspect.
And now I know that you are local to the area where Robert Morris is, out in western Pennsylvania. Where will your future plans take you? Are you going to stick around the area, maybe give Coach Coleman a few pointers next spring, or what? What's going on in the future for Nicole Sleeth?
Well, in the fall, I'm going to finish up my master's degree, so I'm going to be the undergrad assistant at Robert Morris, so I will be alongside Coach Coleman and his assistants. And then I plan to hopefully get a job or internship somewhere in the Pittsburgh area and live down there.
And that wraps up the 2014-15 Northeast Conference Spring Meetings. For NEC Front Row, I'm Kyle Turner.